If you're not sure whether to go organic or synthetic with your nutrients, I've got you covered. Today, we're breaking down exactly what you need to know to make the right call for your grow. But first, check this out. We want you to come on over and join us at realdgc.com. I wanted to remind you all, membership is free, guys. We have a great growing community over there for real. Check out these groups. You can go on over there to ask a grow question, hang out and grow talk, throw down some memes. We have 4,000 active growers over there. No censorship. RealDGC.com. Membership is free. Come on over and hang out. Step up and become a producer. Get those grower dividends. You'll see what I'm talking about. Check out RealDGC.com. Get grow strong, yo. All right, let's do this. Can't we all just get along, Scott?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, we absolutely can, man. Let's talk about it.
All right, first let's break it down, like how organics works with the plant and how synthetics works with the plant.
Sure. Organics, you start with some giant molecule. I mean, compared to, something like nitrogen or something in synthetics, it can be hundreds to thousands of times bigger. And the idea, it's this big nutrient sink of very low concentration of nutrients. There's a lot of them there, and they're not in a plant available form. They need microbes and enzymes to unlock these, to break that material down, take the plant available stuff, and then leave the rest. But what the rest is, it's usually a lot of carbon and a lot of good stuff that builds the soil. It stays there and builds the soil. So organics is really cool. It's great for soil building. And it's great for, instead of like with synthetics, you're pushing the nutrient on there. For organics, it's pulling what it needs. The plant and the microbes are pulling what it needs. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, synthetics would be like, even in, organics need microbes.
Right.
Synthetics are plant available at the right pH range. Microbes aren't necessary.
Sure.
And play with synthetics, but they're more, fair enough, did I say synthetics are more plant available?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea with them, is they're in that ionic form. Synthetics are easily absorbed. It makes chemical reaction with the root, and the root absorbs it. Microbes have to be the intermediary with organics. There's that same chemicals in there. Plant doesn't know an organically derived nitrogen molecule from a synthetic one, but the plant has to mine that, and they mine that nitrogen molecule out of that giant organic molecule. And what happens is it's much less of nutrients being pushed on the plant, and more the plant signals when it wants it and pulls what it wants. And you can imagine having something really well balanced without a whole bunch of extra nutrition left in the plant. Probably gonna taste pretty good, huh?
I like the breakdown. Let's talk about the pros and cons. First,
sure.
Organics, man. It's natural, man. And I'm just joking. It is more, depending on how you feel about what you're using in your grow. It's earth friendly, right? Phosphorus isn't going to last forever. Mine phosphorus has a limit to it. In some ways,
sure,
more than me. Some ways they make nitrogens pretty dirty, though.
Yeah, they use a bunch of fossil fuel, so you get a bunch of CO2 out of there and whatnot. Yeah, the Haber-Bosch method.
All right, what about organics taste better? Is there a possibility with the terroir that you're getting from some of the inputs?
I think it'd be a lot easier if you're loading up. All these both of them work with microbes. The organics absolutely rely on the microbes. So with organics, the roots are sending little signals to the microbes. The microbes are going and solubilizing the nutrient that it needs from the organic molecule. So it's a pull kind of system where they're pulling that nutrient in. As to where with synthetics, it is immediately plant available, and that made the synthetic nutrient makes contact with the root. It is pulled in unless you have a big microbial buffer there. There can be no buffer like in rock wool and stuff. So it's much more dangerous. It's much easier to overload the plant with nutrients that it doesn't need, and it's not going to be able to metabolize before you smoke it.
One more pro. Done right, organics, living soil, you don't need to be monitoring your pH. The microbes do the work for you. If you have a good quality water source that you have access to, most people do, you're good to go. Water only, don't worry about pH. I do like that aspect.
Hang on, you're talking about what the microbes do. not necessarily organics. You're talking about when microbes go and are the intermediary between your roots and the nutrient particle. And that happens organically and synthetically. Just with organics, you need it. You need those microbes or the whole thing doesn't work. Synthetics, it's an added buffer. It's something you add on to keep the plants from absorbing too much of those salts. But so microbes work in both those situations.
I'll give you some cons, man. Why organics suck? Just kidding. You do need a lot of soil. Some people are growing in a 2x4 tent, even a 2x2. Indoors, we do have limited space. It's our most valuable real estate as indoor growers. So, I mean, if you're really good at organics, you can get away with a 5-gallon pot. I'm going like a lot of people are 10 gallons plus living soil beds. So you need a big battery, right?
It's going to grab a little bit of those nutrients out of that giant molecule. So you're going to need a bigger battery, right? As opposed to with synthetics, that nutrient, that tiny bit of nutrient, 1,000 times smaller than that molecule, goes right into the plant and it feeds the plant. So yeah, that's why you can grow in synthetically. You can grow in like a little 1-gallon pot or a 6x6x6 rock wool cube and still get good results.
All right, hold on. You're getting to the pros and synthetics first. Quickly, 2 more cons. It is harder to fix deficiencies if you're an organic grower, unless you're going to lean on a synthetic, crutch bottle, if you will, because it's not as plant available. The microbes need to do the work. So if you see a nitrogen deficiency, you can't be like, bam, more nitrogen and see results within a light cycle or 2. Lastly, thanks to nice guy Kenny being super clean, I suppose. He's like, man, I get bugs from organics. You aren't starting sterile. You can, every time, I guarantee you, and this isn't the most negative thing, but anytime I add compost or worm castings, I'm not going to have to throw worm castings under the bus, but definitely compost, I get fungus gnat. They're just in there. I swear they're just in there. So if you're a sterile grower and want to have zero risk, not zero, but a lot less risk, organics can come with some pests.
Yeah, or at least, man, you've got if you think it's all sorts of natural products, man, you're doing the soil food web, right? And the soil food web at the end, you can have, fungus gnats that are coming and eating whatever is left, man. So, with organics, I think you will have to take IPM a little bit more seriously. And don't forget, you can't use many of the chemicals on organics because they have to be certified organic, right?
Yep. Let's go to synthetics quickly here. Pros. I mean, everything happens a bit quicker. You have total control. Granted, you got to follow a feed chart, know what you're doing, what you're adding in the right ratios, have your pH adjusted if you're not having microbes helping you, but you do have more control.
You have magnesium deficiency and you go and you spray Epsom salts on there. You're going to fix them. You can go back the next light cycle, 2 light cycles from now, and it can be fixed. If you have that problem with organics, you've got to put something in the soil that contains magnesium, let the microbes slowly break it down, deliver it on the plant signal. It's going to take a little while longer.
And organics is kind of media specific. One thing we didn't touch on earlier, there are liquid organics. Canna has a bio line. You have to pair that though with the right media. So synthetics we can use with peat. Synthetics we can use with rock wool, cocoa, even a soil, like let's say off the top of my head, Fox Farm. You don't have to, but you can use some synthetics with that. When you're in organics, you don't want to use organics in cocoa. You want to use a proper mix of compost, peat, maybe some cocoa in there, a blend that's ready for that. So that's a pro of synthetics. It's way more media friendly across the board.
Yeah, and with synthetics also, you can use organic components. You can take your earthworm castings in there. You can take look what I do with Recharge. I'm using kelp. I'm using humic and fulvic and amino acids. All those are things, they're byproducts when the microbes are breaking down that giant organic molecule. That's some of the stuff that is coming out. So if we can take those growth promoting substances, add them into our organics, you are winning.
Yep, I totally agree. I'll give you quick cons. If you use them wrong, it's going to get hot quick. You can burn easy with synthetics. Not nearly as easy. I mean, organics are way more friendly in that arena.
Yes, definitely. But organics are a delayed reaction. If you messed up organics, though, you got to ride it out. With synthetics, you can usually wash it out with some kind of, water or something like that, and then replenish it. So a lot more forgiving.
and different nutrients. Like some of them, a lot of nutrients are high quality these days. Back in the day, I remember general hydroponics was considered a saltier nutrient, if you will. You get buildup. You could see white crust at the bottom of your pots. So definitely.
That's because you were using too much, man. That's because they were using too much.
They told me to. They told me to use.
Yeah, you got the point there, man. But yeah, the idea is if you use some organics, that's why before I knew about Recharge, I used to use earthworm castings in my mix. If you have some sort of organics there's microbes that are able to live off that nutrient, and then they are able to create enzymes and just do some molecular things to break down those salts. The salt is a metal and a non-metal together, able to break them down and make them not damaging. So pretty cool stuff.
All right. In summary, man, organics is more earth friendly. It is more sustainable.
Wait. Hang on a second. What do you mean, man? If it's an organic component that is mined in South Africa or mined someplace where, we were just talking about cocoa core that comes from Australia. Yeah, that's not eco-friendly. Who knows how they get it, whether they get it from Australia, but then shipping it over here, all the processing, how much fresh water goes into washing that stuff, washing the source out of it?
Okay. I'm not going into the organic argument. There's a lot of arenas there. I will say an example would be getting your phosphorus from a byproduct like fish bone meal that's already there. I like getting organic inputs from industries that are going to waste that product anyway.
Sure.
Events about agricultural inputs, blood meal, bone meal, and all that crap. But it is kind of cool. And just, you got to watch it. You got to watch what you're using from the earth. Not everything is going to last forever. Some people say, take it while you're here, but be conscious. Okay. All right, give us some comments below on your style. Do you grow synganically, a mixture of the two, strictly organically because it tastes better for you, or you care for the earth? That is important. Let us know below.
But also don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this one with with another grower and I can't wait for the comments to come on back. Let us know.